Okay, today we are going to make some of my sugar cookies, and I honestly don't know if I have all the ingredients out here right now, but I think so. First, I have a couple sticks of butter. I'm just going to warm those up in the microwave a little bit because I just took them out of the wrapper, and they're not exactly fully defrosted yet. This egg is room temperature. Oops, I just cracked the yolk. That's okay. And I just dropped a shell in there. My hands are clean. I did clean them. I clean them constantly. Over here I have a couple sugars testing because I normally use milk when I make the icing, and I don't exactly have milk. So I'm just trying a couple different things to see how it is that it sets up. One of it is the sweet creamer, and the other one is with water. And I know that I didn't put enough sugar in there because it's really, really thin. But I'm just gonna see how it is that it works. You know, if it sets up even before before I'm ready to have them. Okay. Spill a little bit of the egg here. So I have a couple different ideas on things that I want to. That microwave smells horrible. Yesterday I put a potato in there on the potato setting, or I thought that I did, and I think I actually only turned it on for a couple minutes because it was still really like raw and then I put it on the potato setting, and then it ended up cooking too much and it burnt, and I have not wiped out the inside of the microwave. So even though it's clean, it smells like burnt potato. Like it literally caught on fire, burnt. Like it it's kind of funny. Okay, so the butter is good enough. The egg's beaten. I have the KitchenAid here. My little mixers. I think I used this one. Pretty sure. I have a couple different cookie cutters that I'm going to use. These are 3 of them. And I'm just going to try to make some fun little things. 3.5 cups flour. I'm pretty sure I have enough flour here. I have plenty, actually. Again, I was told that I should weigh out the flour, and I never do. I just kind of, you know, if I need more, I add more. It's close enough to a 1/2 cup. Baking powder sifted. How much? That one's 1/2. Okay, where's my... I have 2 of these sets, and I usually get them mixed up, but that's okay. I eventually find everything. I did put the baking powder on my grocery list, but I have not gone to go get groceries. It's good. There's maybe a 1/2 teaspoon left in there. Nothing to do anything with. Baking powder. All right, well, I guess we're just gonna go ahead and start adding in some of these other things here. I know the sugar is usually the best when it's added with butter. How much of this white sugar? Good, it's still soft. Soft enough. I can just incorporate these a little bit. I think I normally put the wet stuff in here first and then add the flour because I have like a little thing that goes over it, but it still makes a mess. So let's give this a try. This stuff is all soft enough. Brown sugar lumps. Hopefully those will work themselves out. They seem to be pretty soft. They're not hard. Pretty sure that's everything. Mmm. Mmm. Tastes good. I can see I have a mess over here on the side though. Stuff that did not get mixed in. So the idea that I'm going to try today, as far as the shapes go. So in the little bag, it looks like 2 of these hearts will fit in there. So that's one of the options there. Boom, boom. I think that will work out well. But these look like only one will fit in this little bag. Like that's all the way up to the end there, and that's not including you know, space for it to actually open. So I don't think these stars are going to fit in. The circle might. The circle might fit in there. There you go. So I think the idea here is that I'm going to try to make two of these won't fit in there. Oops, probably turn that off. But then in the big bag, my initial idea was to try and make little flags with like a set of stripes and then a couple stars. And I think those will fit in these big bags. I think I can fit 2 stars and then maybe some stripes in there. And the thing that I haven't tried before is actually making stripes. So there's 2 different ways that I'm kind of contemplating trying. The first is to make like a rectangle that will fit in that sleeve and putting lines across it by using this this little rack here. I think that's a roasting rack. And then, you know, coloring each of the different lines a different color. Hopefully, if I can get it pressed down on there enough, and I don't know, I'm actually going to have to put the dough on top of it and then, you know, cut out the square afterwards, because these little roasting feet will keep it from going too far down, and I think that's probably about the height of my cookie dough, so that means that they wouldn't actually touch. But if I put it on top, maybe I can get the impression of some lines. And then I can take a sharp knife and actually cut them into like little even-sized sticks. And I want to try cooking each of the sticks. And then I can color them, you know, with frosting individually. So those are just kind of a couple of the different directions that I'm going to try. I'm going to try to make little smiley faces with the circles. We'll do a couple hearts. We'll see how it is that everything fits in the bag. It's really just going to depend on how it is that things fit in the bag. So this first round of cutting is really just going to be cutting a couple different shapes, trying a couple different things, baking those, seeing what works, seeing what fits in the bag, and then we'll go from there, because I don't want the little stripes to get overcooked. And I think that if they're in there for the same amount of time, that they might. And so that's just going to be like a testing thing I'm going to have to try out. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. And I'm used to using 3/8 inch square doweling. But they seem to be misplaced. So what I found works just as well to keep the height where it is that I want it is just line up a bunch of dominoes. Close enough. I just need it to keep the spacing right. And make sure my roller fits over. Okay, that's good. Push this back so I have room for the roller. Wash my hands one more time. Where's my little stained? I've had this towel for forever. It has stains on it, but it's clean. Alright, let's give a little bit of this dough a try. It feels good. Let me get this mixer out of the way. I put a circle in there? Oh, no. Can I put a star? Maybe. Almost. Almost. Close enough. We're going to call that good enough. Oh, and I need to get out a cookie sheet. Oh, I did not turn the oven on again. So I do have different sizes here for the different times for the different sizes. So it looks like for these, maybe about 9 to 10 minutes. Now I've shown this before, but I have this air bake pan. Come up here. So I have this old air bake pan, and it has the lip along the long side, which is great for being able to put it in the oven and take it out. But when I went to go buy a second one, they only had this set, and I think it might be a different brand. But here, the lip is on the short side. So putting these side by side in the oven doesn't, I don't prefer it. I really prefer, that's why they're hardly ever used. I like this one. So that's what we're going to put our cookies on. found the maximum size. Oh, and I wanted to try to do a rectangle. Do I have anything that's rectangular that would probably work aside from that? Let me see if I can find something. I'm not finding anything, so I'll just see if I can put some dough together and press it out on that. It's going to take up a lot of dough if I do that. But maybe if I can make them into little sticks, that'll be better. Plus, I think a little stripe, a little cookie stick is probably more of a size that I would prefer myself. But you know, I like things to be uniform. So let's see if we can give this a try here. I don't know how it'll go. What should I do? Maybe set this down and flip it over on top of it? How do I want this to go? So if I go this, then they're going to be little sticks. And if I go this way, they're going to be really long. Let's do that. Well, let's see if I can just press it all the way through and see what thickness comes out the other side. Because you don't know unless you try, right? Make sure that these are all right. Some of them came off. What a messy idea. Well, won't know unless you try, right? So then I should probably cut these to an appropriate length to fit inside the bag. Like, will that? I don't know. That's kind of pushing it. Oh wait, I have a tape measure here. So this is about 6 inches across. So let's do like, I don't know, 4 inch. Whoops. Maybe it will decide for me. Oh, those are definitely not. Okay, so this one can go. These can go. That can go. Do I have anything for length? How long is this? That's 6.5. That's way too long. How big is the lid? It's 4.5. I don't know. I could try using that. It's not exactly the right thickness, but let me give it a wash. A little soap on there. I don't even know if this will be a great cookie cutter, but maybe it'll work. bad idea. This has ridges along the edge of it. I should just eyeball it. I'm way too picky. All right, let me grab a knife. Use this one. Stars and stripes. We'll call that good. Doesn't have to be exact. We're just giving this a try. It's a very rough cut on the back. I'm not really loving it. Maybe there's another way of doing this. Maybe if I can... What about my other... Oh, first let me do this. Let me get these on here. Stay. Don't fall apart on me. Stay together. This might be a bad idea. Anyway, so there's those. I guess we'll try another, maybe we'll do a circle, and then maybe 2 circles and a star, and see what we can make out of it. Let me get mine. I usually just like using smaller amounts so I can get just like 1 or 2 cookies out of it. Now sometimes the dough wants to, it wants to kind of like flake up in little places. So I don't like that. So I try to roll over it a second time to make sure that it goes as flat as possible. The one thing about this dough, this batch is really nice to work with. This particular batch. Again, I should probably weigh out the flour so I know exactly, so it turns out the same every time. Alright, there's one. Can I get another star? Maybe. I don't know, how much can I rotate this? What if, oh, no, it's got to go that way. It's going to be good enough. But when I make cookies this big, it just doesn't go very far. It really doesn't. When I make smaller cookies, obviously it goes farther. But, you know, big cookies are fun. All right, we're going to give that right there a go. We have a circle, 5 stripes, 2 hearts and a few stars. If this is at temperature. It is not. It's only at 300. So we'll give it a little bit more. And I suppose while I'm waiting on those, I'm going to cut more of these little hearts. Because, you know, the hearts are universal. I can write little, you know, saying on them like love, peace, faith, hope, you know, that kind of stuff. Little short words. USA. Get some things ready for the 4th of July holiday. See how this turns out. See what other people think and go from there. See how that lifts up right there? I don't know if you can see that. No, it's not gonna zoom in on this side. But that's not good when it does that. To me, it usually tells me that the dough is starting to dry out just a little bit. So getting these cut is important. And if I just roll this, it will definitely, you know, get all wonky on me. So you like that one right there. Ah, don't do that. Do not do that. So irritating. Cut cookies. Fun, fun. I got one. I can set this over here by the frosting. That's during the icing. Go into this knowing I'm probably only going to get one. Oh, maybe I can get 2. Maybe I can get 2 out of this one. Okay. Temperature yet? 350. All right. Throw these in. It said 10 minutes timer. Here we go. We'll give that 10 minutes. You don't need to watch me do all this. Okay, I found this little case. It has some rivets in it, but it's plastic, and I can just clean it off and then use it as a template. So that's what I'll do. Where did my towel go? Because maybe I can just use like some little candies or something for the stars. Oops. I don't know. Well, we're going to try different things. We're going to try different things today. See what works. That's just about the darn right size. Almost. If only I didn't have that. Breaks in the dough. I think we can do that. So let's try that. Let's try. We'll just use a knife for the cutter. Oh no, it's stuck. It's not all bad if I can figure out which way it is that corner goes back on. Stay. Now come off. You can't stay on there. I think I might have pressed it on there. I have to make sure I don't press it on there next time. Okay, well, we're gonna give that a try. And then maybe make another heart. I can make a couple more. I don't know, can I make another one of those? Do I have enough dough? That's a lot of dough. I think what I'm going to have to do is, maybe I could weigh how many cookies I end up with. I have a scale. Weigh how much it is that I have total. And then try to put them together in an appropriate, I have to calculate all the prices and all that, but it's really more about just getting it out there and having my costs covered. And I guess I don't know if I'll be able to get anything for my time, but keeps me out of trouble, right? That's an important thing. Keeps me out of trouble. It does work pretty good. As a, oh, look at there. All right, come off of there. You can't stay on. Come off nicely. Don't break on me. Did I press down on that again? I didn't feel like I did. Maybe it's just because it's plastic. Something good to note. Alright, I can get one more heart on here. Do I have enough dough for a heart? I don't know. It doesn't feel like it. I don't have really like any crumbs left. These are all the crumbs. Oh. So if I want to make more hearts, I'll have to, I don't know, can I shape it into a heart a little bit beforehand? Before I roll it out? Will that help it to stay heart-shaped? I don't know. It looks like the top is bigger, so I don't know. We'll give it a go. We'll see what happens. Oh, that did not work out well. It definitely needs to be rounder on the top. My 10 minutes is up. That's what that's telling me. My 10 minutes is up. Almost. Almost. We're getting there. I better get these out. Now, they generally won't be brown at all on the edges. Sometimes they will. If they're not quite cooked enough, they're going to get dark in the center as they cool down, but I'm going to take these out for now. We'll see how 10 minutes does on all of those different shapes, because it should be 11 minutes for the bigger ones. This looks like I need more more cookie dough up here. And I don't know if that will squish together enough. We'll find out. We'll find out. I need to start over. It looks like I'll have just enough dough, but it'll be just enough dough. So let's try a little triangle type shape. I don't need it. I need it more up here on the top. Let's see how this goes. I definitely need it wider and more up that way. Let's see. Almost, not quite. Ah! Damn it. So frustrating. We're going to get this cookie out of here. I know it. I know it. We're going to get this cookie out of here. Do not fall apart. Oh, dang it. They fell apart on me. Can I get it in the bottom part? Nope. Okay, we'll just keep trying. Press it together. Try again. Okay, we want the majority of it up there. We want that up there. We really want the majority up there. So go up that way. All right, let's see. Okay, you stay together this time. No playing around, and do not break on me. Oh, maybe. Oh, you know, we're gonna call it good enough. We're gonna call that good enough. Yay. Okay. And then I don't know what we can do with this. We'll just make it into a little ball and stay together. Press it out, and it is what it is. And you know, honestly, maybe taking like a scoop or the tablespoon and making just a bunch of little dots, maybe that might be good. Little bite-sized cookies in a bag. Sure would be easier than cutting them into shapes. Oh, I gotta put, those are cold. Let's get these in the oven. Timer. Is this cool enough to touch? It's cool enough to touch, but it's not quite cool enough. Okay. Good news is that they're not getting dark in the center. So that's that's a good sign that we're doing good. See if I can bring you over here. Plug. Okay. Cooling wax. Sure smell good. Man, these smell good. And those little stripes seem to be holding up well. They may not be the prettiest, but they're holding up well. Oops. Just slide that off on there. So we got basically 2 trays. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, these, and then those, so maybe like 3. Those are some rough cookies. I bet you they taste great though. This one's, so we've got a little, that's okay. They're not supposed to be perfect. They're homemade, right? Some of these look really pretty. And so here's my little piece of paper. It doesn't look like either of these have set up at all, and it's probably just because it's way too liquidy. But that one's the water. This one right here is with the creamer. But we can also see, and I don't know if you can tell on there or not because of the lighting, but the one with the sweet creamer, it looks a little bit more of a creamy color compared to the one with water. You kind of see a little bit of a difference there. So the one with water here, it says H2O. You see that that's not set up at all. It's runny. And this one right here is also still runny. But what I normally do is I make it to a thickness that I can use my little silicone basting brush, and then I paint them. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll put more. And it takes a lot of powdered sugar to just a little bit of liquid. Now, while that is in a creamer container, what's actually inside of it is evaporated milk. 1 can of evaporated milk and 1 can of water. Okay, that's getting a little, see, I won't be able to, it's too thick, I won't be able to spread that. Now this would be, I probably need to add a little bit more for piping. Can you see how it wants to stay in a design? That might be okay for decorating. But I need more than that to put into the thing for decorating. So let's just focus on frosting for right now, which means I'm going to need just like a drop. It doesn't take much to be too much and then go back and forth and back and forth. I'll show you exactly what it is that I put in there. This is what's actually in this container. I just reused the container. So I warm up this can in hot water. I take off the label, I warm it up in hot water, and then I pour it into that container, and then with 1 can, almost 1 can, a little bit less than 1 can of water, and then I shake it up, and then I use that creamer for everything. I use it when I make scrambled eggs, for like a little breakfast taco or an omelet. I use it for coffee creamer. I'm using it here for the frosting. This has to be able to be put on with the brush, and I don't like it too thick, and I assume other people don't like it too thick either. That's probably about good. See how when I pour it in there, how it just settles right back down, mush into nothing? That's good. Stuff always makes my hands sticky. And now I don't want to put these on until the cookies are cooled, but maybe this one's almost cool. We could try starting with the sticks. The stripes. Oh, wouldn't this be cool if I were able to do a white stripe, a blue star, and a red heart, each in the same bag? Otherwise, I don't know if I have any red food coloring that I could spray these with or not. I'll have to check. I also have to check to see if I have blue. That would be nice. And if not, on the red, if I don't have red food coloring, which I may, I have like a really dark red, but sometimes it kind of turns out like an orange color. Now what I did find too is that putting the little frosting on here, I think it helps to keep the cookies soft, to be honest with you. I think it kind of helps to seal them a little bit so that way they stay nice and soft. How are these doing? Probably good enough. The noise from the oven behind me reminds me that those other ones are going to be done in a minute. Oh, well, there we go. Maybe less than a minute. I'm just going to turn that off because those big rectangles are in there, and I really want to make sure that they have enough time to cook. So I just turn the timer off, I turn the oven off. I'll frost a couple more of these, and that should help keep the heat in there without keeping the heat going, and possibly, oops, I'm dripping, and possibly turning them brown. I really don't want them to get brown. I like soft cookies. I do not like crunchy cookies in the least. So I really try to just make soft cookies. I know some people like crunchy cookies. That's not my thing. And these will stay good for several days. They'll stay soft enough for several days. They're always best like the first 3 days, but they're fine like a week later. Let's see. Okay, now on this one, it's a little bit bigger. Can you see how, I know that there's a circle there, but that's probably just where it was on. But you can see how it's actually kind of a little bit darker in the middle. That means that one didn't quite cook all the way through. Like, it's done, it's cooked, but it's not going to be fully cooked like these smaller sizes. And that's where having an extra minute on these bigger sizes is helpful. And you know, I could maybe take the hearts out of the oven and then put the others back in. I could try that. We could try it. And yeah, these other, oh, don't. That pressed right into there, and that's still a little soft, so I do want to, oops, gimme. We'll just leave those in there for a little bit. Colors, what colors do I have? Yellow, silver, blue, no red. No red. Okay, so we're going to we're gonna come over here. I'm gonna back this up a little bit. Get all my stuff out of the way. Quite big enough, but we're gonna make it work. Oh, here I could use this one from my cookie dough. This one's bigger. Maybe I'll just bring that cookie over here. Let's just come back over here. Okay. Now this has not finished frosting or cooling down yet. Like if I were to touch it, it would leave a fingerprint. You can see that it's got a little bit of a gloss on it, and it should maintain that gloss. But here where it's a little bit thinner, you can actually see, or kind of, there's almost like a little dip. That's where it's probably a little bit cooler. Oh, I broke it. Okay, now we can definitely use it as a test cookie. Where am I at here? Here we go. And then this other dish that I had with the water, we'll try to make some thicker piping icing. Where'd my fork go? Here. Sugar cookies always take a lot of work, but they're fun. They're fun when they're done. The first time I did this, I had a large snowflake, and I made 2 double batches, which ended up making, I think, 48 cookies. And that literally took me 2 whole days because each of the, where's that? I'll show you. I think I put it in here. So here's the cookie cutter. And you can see it's about the same size as this, but with all these different little ins and outs, it makes decorating it really fun. See, this is too runny for piping, for actually making decorations. And then once I get it to the right consistency, then I put it in a baggie, and then I transfer that contents of the baggie into a bottle, a little squeeze bottle for decorating. I've tried just pouring it in there before. It just takes way too long. It's way too messy. And let's see, are we there yet? Nope. It's not standing up on its own. And I've made it a little too thick before, and that's okay, but it does make it harder to decorate because you're squeezing a lot more. And you may not get all of it out of the container, and then of course you got to go through this whole process again just to get some in the container to decorate with. So you also want to decide, you know, how much do you really want to decorate them, because you got to go through this again, and hopefully you'll get the second batch the same as the first. Okay, let's see where we're at now. It's standing up a little bit better on its own. I think I would like it a little bit thicker, just a little bit, just a little bit. Maybe this is about half of what the 2 times that I added, so 2 extra times that I added. And as far as the blue coloring on the cookie, sometimes it'll make some really interesting designs, whether it's, you know, still wet or the frosting is still wet, cookie's still warm, how it is that it sprays out of the can, you know, whatever. So that is definitely, that's good. That's good. Okay. And I have these little bottles that are great for squeezing and decorating. But first, I'll need to, can you see that? Maybe I should just lift this up a little bit more. So I just have a little Ziploc baggie here. I'm going to stick the corner down in there, fold this over, hopefully keep the corner in there. And because I worked so hard to make that icing, I want to try to get all of it out of that little dish as I can. So clean off my little scraper here again. And hopefully get as much out of here as possible. Okay, now that we have that in there, I can grab my scissors, make sure I squeeze this down, try to keep it all in the corner because it'll be easier. There's a little bit of an air bubble there in the corner. Tip that back. Snip it off, and hopefully it'll be just the right size to basically funnel it into there carefully. When it touches the sides, it can catch, and then it can make it like overflow, and that's just not good. So you want to, oh, no, no, don't touch two parts of the sides. Yeah, slow down, back off. And if you cut a small hole, it will actually be like twice as big. So it's okay to cut a small hole because you can always cut it bigger. You can't cut it smaller. Okay, so that little dish filled up this right here. And now we'll start to, I think I'm just going to outline the star, even though my little arm there fell off. There we go. We have our first cookie done. Now, can I write on the inside of here? Which is the best way? Let me turn this. Put the broken part at the top. Yeah. So that tells me that this is a little bit loose for writing. I would want to make it thicker if I'm going to be writing words in there, which means I can either take another bottle. These come in a 3-pack. So I could either take another bottle, make a whole nother batch just for writing the lettering. But right now, but if I'm just going to outline it, or, you know, do something simple where it doesn't have to be quite so much together and stay, because to me, that's not acceptable. I don't, that's too loose of a, for decorating, but we're gonna go ahead and try this. Look at this. See that? I am sugared out already. It's all the sugar cookie I can take right now. Really, really good. But I think I'll probably work on another batch of icing that's thicker and try to do something with the other cookies and kind of get creative and see what I can do. I know in those hearts, the hearts are smaller. Yeah, like here's one with icing on it. And it's already set up mostly. It's probably a little bit soft. But if I can at least get like 3 letters, maybe USA or love or joy, you know, something really short. Unless I get it really thick, then I'll be able to put like faith or peace, you know, maybe 5 letters. But with it being this loose, there's no way that I can do 5 letters. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with the circle. I thought I might try to make a smiley face. Maybe I'll put some of this in Oh, I can make the smiley face yellow. I think I have yellow. I do. Oh, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. Doesn't sound like I have a whole lot of yellow in there. Alright, you can come back over here for a moment. And you. Alright, well, let's see. Let's see if I have any yellow in here. Doesn't sound like it. I think it's gone. I don't know. I have some of this. I don't really like these very much. It seems like you have to use a lot of them to get to any color. I don't know. I'll play around with it and we'll see what I come up with. When I try out these things, it usually does not turn out very pretty, so I wouldn't have any high expectations. But practicing and trying out these different things is part of the fun. Oh my gosh, that can is leaking. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, this can is leaking. All right, I need to go throw this away and figure out what I'm going to do with these other ones. Okay, so I do have some red, and I do have a little bit of this. You know, I should probably frost those first. No. I'll add the coloring first, and then I'll deal with that. Where's my fork? Okay. So here's this. No idea how much of this to use. I'm going to assume just a little teeny tiny bit, but we'll see. Looks like some kind of a gel. We'll try that much. However much that is, we'll try that much. And just this little teeny tiny bit of icing. Oh, it's weird. It sounded like somebody saying hello outside. But I don't see any vehicle in the driveway, and I don't have another showing of the house for quite a while yet today. I have time to do this. Now that seems, I don't know, maybe a little thin. Maybe I'll throw some of this in here. I mean, it was good enough for before, but that gel is a little liquidy. So it's going to already add more liquid where I don't really necessarily want it. Let me try to take this off and squeeze out a little bit more faster. There. But you can see how these colors are much richer than these liquid things are. All right. Let's see if I can push my mess back here a little bit. Get some of this out of the way. And make room for these cookies to sit. Close this up and put the top back on that. I do have a, do I have a blue? I do have a blue. I have a blue also. Just like the red, but you know, not. All right. Let's get to frosting these red. And I kind of like, you know, the painting on of the frosting. And again, this is a good consistency. It's not really thick, it's not really thin. It's thin enough to where it levels out pretty nicely. It's thick enough to where it stays put. It doesn't, you know, like drip over the edges or anything like that. Red is a good color for the hearts. I suppose if I wanted to do pink, I could use the food coloring, because that's probably going to turn out more pink than red. The liquid food coloring, the stuff you can normally buy in most grocery stores, you know, like for coloring eggs. But for these richer colors, I really like using the, I don't know, what's it called? Is it called a gel? Icing color. Yes. That yellow can must have been old. Well, I know that they're all old. They're years old. The fact that the blue one even still worked, I'm impressed with. But I keep them in that little plastic container because, well, just for the reason that the yellow one was leaking all over the place. It actually was leaking in the bottom of that plastic container where I have the different sprays. And I've had that happen in my cupboard before, and then I had to clean it off from the shelf. So that's when I decided that I would start storing them in a little plastic container, and I'll show you that in just a second. Because if you are going to buy the cans of coloring, you will want to store them in some kind of a little sturdy container. This one has low sides on it. It's kind of a harder, thin plastic, but you can see in the bottom there that there's yellow from where that can leaked. So I'll have to clean off the rest of these colors later. And you can tell that gel, that's a stain. I don't know if that will come off in the next day or two, and if not, I guess you'll see it in another video. On the bright side, my knee is doing better. Where I fell in the road the other day. Oh my gosh, that hurt. That hurt so bad. Now, since I already have that icing in there, and I really want that thicker, instead of making new stuff, I could empty it back out into one of these little dishes, add more sugar, clean out the container, let that one dry, grab another container, put it in, grab another baggie, put it in there, and see if we can draw on these. I'm just going to paint this little spare cookie. See how it looks. I really wanted, I probably should order, is there enough time? There's probably enough time. I should measure these cookie cutters and see if I can find a smaller flag or a smaller star that's more like the size of these, so that they, you know, at least two of them fit into a little cookie bag. Now I do have more blue spray, so I can do the other two blue stars. And if I don't do this one right here, oh, darn it. Where's my towel? I have these that I already put frosting on, but I guess they're going to get a double layer of frosting. And again, it'll just help keep the moisture inside the cookie. And I have a couple cookie crumbs in this, so I want to make sure that I don't, one, hold the cookie over the icing anymore, and two, make sure that I don't get a crumb in the brush, because otherwise I'm going to have cookie crumbs in the icing on whatever cookie I do next, and you know, that's not good. I think those are done. Those are done. Okay, now I'm done with the red. And what's great is that the silicone little basting brush, you know, like from the dollar store, it doesn't hold the color. Okay, hot, 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 hot. I don't mind the white, but it does need to be thicker. Probably abusing this bottle too much right now, but I guess we're going to see what it can take. And then we'll rinse it out. Let that dry. I do not like to let these sit because, ow! It will harden, and then that's just, you know, not necessary. Just not necessary. All right, side of the tip. Okay, nice and clean. We'll set those over here so that they can dry. Sugar. Sugar. Honey, honey. bit more. And I don't want to put this back into the bottle that has a little bit of moisture in it as it's drying, because that little bit of moisture will change spots of the icing consistency. And I want this thick enough to be able to decorate, but let's go ahead and give that a try. I added a little bit more. I should probably add a little bit more. Since I'm hearing it, I should probably just add a little bit more. I'll ask myself, is that good enough? My inner self says, yes, that's good enough. So, thank you, thank you, thank you. You can see how this is much harder, and it actually like pulls away from, that's thick. Bottle. Where are the other two bottles at? Right here. Guess I'm done with this for now. Spatula. Rubber spatula. Now when there's not a little air bubble, I just pinch the end of it to pinch it back. Make sure it stays back. And then only cut off just a little bit on the corner so that I can hopefully squeeze a small stream into the bottle. I'm not trying to rush it, but I am squeezing pretty hard. Whoa. See, when it first starts out, if you squeeze too much, it wants to dance around in a little circle, and then that's when it touches the sides, and it goes all the way around and clogs it up. That's not fun. All right. Let's start with this one. Seems to be Seems to be pretty dry. What should we write on here? Love? We'll try love. Made with love. It's a little goofy, but you know, it's there. What else can we try? You will try USA. Uh-oh. It's not wanting to come out very well. So what's happening is it's kind of getting stuck on the tip, and I should probably see how that's really sloppy. We're not doing anything with that one. That was a little bit better. It's still kind of meh. They're homemade, right? They're homemade. Try Joy. Oh, that is not wanting to. It's like it's stuck on the tip. Oh my gosh. What a pain in the rear. Yep, that one did not turn out either. We'll just kind of keep that over to the side. We'll try love again. That one turned out a little bit better. If my hand wouldn't have moved on that A, it would have been great. But that one's a little bit better. We're getting better. See? Practice makes perfect. A couple more loves, a couple more USAs. There's love. It really doesn't like to do the curves, so that's where I'm kind of holding it a little bit closer. I'm really trying to make sure it gets those. It's all right. All right, last two. That one actually turned out pretty good. And then this one. So wants to get squirrely wrong, going wrong. Curves. Yeah, the A got kind of wonky, but it's all right. These two have the double frosting on them, so I'll keep those two together. And actually, maybe I'll do Love USA. Maybe I'll do those, and I'll keep those. I don't know what I should do here. I feel like that star needs to be blue though. I'll take this little piece off so that I can eat it. These are all good. So there's at least 4 sets. These are no-goes along with that. So I'll move these back over here. We have a couple stars. Let's make some blue stars. you didn't get to see that. Sorry. I'll move these wonky ones over here. Eat a little bit more of this one. So soft, so good. Those were cooked perfectly. And I think on here I'm just going to use the, just do the edge. I could do Love USA on these two also. Maybe I'll do that. Oh, here. The way that it comes out of the can, sometimes the spray, it makes like a really cool design on them. I don't know if you can see that very well. Almost like a watercolor. Kind of cool. I don't think this icing is going to affect anything. Should be fine while those dry. It doesn't usually take that long for that to dry. All right, now getting this icing down to the bottom. I think, yep. And I can always fold over those bags, the bigger bag. Don't curl back on me. If I put these 2 stars in a bigger bag, my hand is not wanting to be very steady. Ah! I got too close to the icing. I was picking up some of the blue. I like to try to hold it just a little bit away, little ways away from it, so it just kind of lays on there. All right. You know what? Let me use one of these test cookies and see if I were to outline it, because maybe I'll outline the other hearts. I'll have to do a better job on the top of that heart part, because that turned out wonky to go with the wonky if I'm going to do this. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I should start up at the top. I don't know. I don't think I will, because there's too much room for error. On the blue ones it looks fine. Now, let's see if I can write Love in USA in here. So, I have to do really little letters. Let go. Close enough. It's gonna have to do. Whoa, don't. So there's love. And then USA. And those still need to dry. Definitely need to dry. Okay. Now, what I can do with these little sticks, and maybe it will help with the, maybe it'll help with the edges. Maybe not, you know, but maybe I can just outline these in white. If I have enough. I don't know if I have enough. I should have enough. I don't know. Maybe I don't have as much in there as I think I do. I should have quite a bit in there. Maybe I just needed more air. There's blue on that tip. I don't want blue. I do find that it's easier going down one way than it is back up the next. Maybe I just did it better that time. I don't know. Does it really make a difference? Yeah, it makes a little bit of a difference. It makes it look like there was an effort put into it. And the wavy ones will just be where the flag is waving. That's all. All right, good enough. This is what they look like. A little bit of white icing along the edges. Carefully move these over here so I don't touch where it's still drying. Stay. No falling apart. I think I can get this one on here. Okay. Good, 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 good. Okay. Out of that batch, this is what we ended up with. wonder if I can arrange them so that they're... Here, let's get this out of the way. I don't have enough of the white stripes, but maybe if I were to make more. I know the red's supposed to be on top, so I'll put the red on top. I don't know how to do that. I only have 5 of those. Get that out of the way. How's that? Anyway, so once these finish drying, I will put them in bags. Probably, you know, like these two together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well that works out well because I have another set of this Love USA, and I have 5 of these little sticks. So I will put Love USA and then a little stick in each bag. Hopefully I can fit them in each bag. I'll add a picture at the end if I'm able to get them in the bag once they all dry, because I want them to be completely dry. And it may take, I don't know, half hour or so. This has already been like an hour. So thanks for hanging out with me and making cookies. It's been fun. Kind of looking forward to making the next batch.